He was a Jewish rabbi, and he was cast out because he was teaching to women. He was teaching to women. He was teaching to the world. And Jesus and Mary were married. So what happened was he has these teachings he was given by his people. So he was considered a rabbi. And when he went off grid and started teaching to women and teaching to people who were not actually of the Hebrew religion, he was cast out. And there was nowhere, no one could align with him except for the poor people, the castaways, the people that were teaching any philosophical things. Those are the people that connected with Jesus Christ. And so at one point he met Mary Magdalene, and she was from King David's church, which believed in Gnostic Christianity. Gnostic Christianity. And that is a mystical Christian belief system, which actually believed in psychicism and mystical things that the psychic believes in. So at that point, when they met, they jived because they were both trying to talk about the beauty of the universe. And they both wanted to work together, so they did. And they went around and did all their teachings. And in the end, he was scapegoated. And I think he took it because she was also teaching. And at that time, women weren't allowed to teach. Women were not allowed to teach at all. I don't think he actually died. I think, that whole story in the Bible where he was put into the cave. Someone gave up their tomb to him, and his body was put in there, and his people came and washed him all up. And then when they came back to finish and do a religious ceremony for him, he was gone. Where was he gone? Did he ascend, or did someone actually get him out of there? Was he alive? So is it possible his people got him out of there because he was actually alive? And is it possible this is why Mary Magdalene was seen? Joseph, his name was. Joseph started with an A, his last name. That's who got Mary Magdalene out of Jerusalem. And they went to France. And when they were in France, they went to the Cathars, or the Merovingians. Were all part of that. If you look on the tarot card, the Ace of Cups, you'll see this M, it's upside down. And it represents the Merovingians and the Cathars and the churches that were run by the Merovingians back in the day. And this is where Mary Magdalene hid. Now, apparently she was pregnant, and apparently she had a child, 2 children named Sarah and David. And apparently Jesus Christ was still alive. And there are churches smattered along the way called the Mary Magdalene churches. Have you heard of them? Here's the point. So if Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene were still alive, and there's a lot of people who believe that, a lot of people, and there are some proof of that. Some of his bones were found, his children's bones. So there is some speculation and some apparent truth that he continued to live on even after the crucifixion, and him and Mary Magdalene moved or fled to France and were with the Cathars. They were dark-skinned. So the bottom line, let's just put it this way. Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene, I believe them. They believe in them. They were incredible people, probably pagans like ourselves. They didn't completely follow their religious belief systems because they stepped out and they taught it to those that were not part of the tradition. Okay, so, I think they were part of the whole idea of the universal force, the universal energy, and their belief systems were bigger than their own religions. Truly, bigger than their own religions. How can religion take such a beautiful, miraculous universe and stick it in a box and expect everyone to follow that little box and have nothing outside of it? It doesn't make sense to me. So I think there's so many truths. And the point is, we need to look at them all. We need to embrace them, and we need to follow them from our heart. So many traditions have tried that. Our different cultures have tried to do that. Yogis, yes. Natives, all the druids, the shamans, the witches. We're all just trying to be one with the universe, be one with Creator, be one with the source, whatever that is, right? And I do think religion is about control. I absolutely agree with you. Okay, and I don't think any God would ever not love us as long as we loved them in our own way. It doesn't mean that we have to follow a religious belief to actually have God know we love them, whoever that God is, or creator, or goddess. Maybe it's a goddess. I mean, I don't know any man that can create anything without a female, or a female that can create without a male. So maybe the universal force is more neutral, more gender fluid. Maybe that's the reason all of this gender fluid stuff has been coming out, so that we can start looking at it. In fact, in the native traditions, there's such a thing called two spirits. There's reasons why. I think there's reasons why these things are coming out now, so that we can get right with the truth.